38 internationals spread among both sides, so let's have a look at how they line up. 3 changes in the Gloucester Packers. Elle Perry, Kelsey Jones and Alex Matthews reinforce the tank. Sarah Beckett shifting to the second row alongside Monaghan. Mo Hunt back to captain the side from scrum half, while Emma Singh returns at 15. A late change sees Pip Hendy come in for a PWR League debut with Rachel Lund a late withdrawal. Millie Hyatt, England under-18s fly half, coming onto the bench. 8 Wales internationals in Sean Lynn's squad today. And the headline from a Saracens perspective was perhaps the absence of Sophie de Goody, top point scorer this season, took a knock in the win against Exeter last week. Georgia Evans then slipping into the back row as cover, which sees Emma Taylor come into the second row. Kelsey Clifford, the other change in the pack. The only other switch is at scrum half, where Leanne Infante's rotated in to start with Virvas on the bench. Co-captain Marley Packer, one of 3 Saracens in the last round's team of the week, with Campbell and Gregson also featuring. Having been victorious in the big game at Twickenham against Harlequins, Gloucester-Hartpury effectively started a 4-week block after Christmas. Concludes today with this match against Saracens, followed by a 2-week break. They'll pick up with a visit to Tigers on the 3rd of Feb, so today's chance to secure victory is an important one. Well, Marley Packer leads out the visitors. Been just over a year since Sarries lost in a regular league fixture. They missed out on the playoff final for the first time in the league's history, having won the title 3 times previously. Sean Lynn commented on the Saracens' style this week, saying it's physical and they have to stick to what they believe in. You might know what's coming from the league leaders. Stopping it, of course, is an entirely different thing. Marley Packer, England skipper, Saracens co-captain. And here come the home side, led out by Mo Hunt. By all accounts, a very positive training week for Sean Lynn's side as they prepared for this huge encounter. It is remarkable that they have not managed victory in the previous encounters at home against the North Londoners. Hunt captaining the side, having played off the bench last week. Referee for this one is Harry Walbaum. Spent a fair amount of time refereeing through the Prem 15s, as was. He'll be assisted by Jonathan Healy and Paul Dix. Our TMO is Peter Allen. Gloucester-Hartpury playing in their traditional cherry and white, as you would expect at Kingsholm. Saracens in the white away strip.
Okay.
Well, they call themselves the circus round here. Ringleaders, acrobats, strong women everywhere you look. These are the Premiership women's rugby contests we all look forward to. First effort was backwards from Galligan and knocked on by Cleal. Good afternoon in commentary, Siobhan Lillicrap.
Hi Nick, great to be here today for this top of the table clash. Great kick-off there by Lakey George, and probably a disappointing start there from Saracens, knocked back by Galligan. And then Poppy Cleal, not the start I'm sure she would have wanted today, but hopefully she can forget about that mistake and move on, because we've got a pretty good game on our hands.
Just warming up those fingertips, no doubt.
Set.
We are set for the big 4, given that it's been hovering around 0 for the last few days, but I can tell you from up in our commentary position, it's not warmed up yet, has it?
No, it's still pretty chilly, and it's pretty chilly here in Gloucester. I think actually a bit colder than Wales when I left this morning.
It will be slow, so please be patient.
Players will be keen to warm up those hands, avoid those little errors.
Crouch.
Hunt waits.
Bind. Set.
Controlled at the back with Alex Matthews. Then will flick it away to her fellow Rugby World Cup winner. It's a decent bust through the middle first of all, as Karen Lake will offer herself. Then Sarah Beckett. Matthews. Sean Lynn said this week, we call her the fixer, having rested Alex Matthews last week. And it's more good forward thrusting from Gloucester-Hartpury, played from Bethan Lewis on for Matthews. Leaky George looking for the big one over the top. It was taken by Lake, fed on for Singh. Singer still going, and a Singh! Looked for all the money like she's driven her way over the line.
Happy? Okay, no try, clear knock on field.
Oh, just been knocked on over the line. Well, our initial look, thought she might be over, but I'm sure we'll have the angle that tells us.
Yeah, the AR was certain there, wasn't he? Come straight to the referee and knocked
really
on
good
over the line.
I
was about to say, what a finish by Emma Singh. You know, she bumped a Saracens player.
Yep.
Here she goes, bumps. Is that Sydney Gregson there? Knocks the ball on her way down towards the whitewash.
I'll be pleased with that positive carrying start in the Saracens 22.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think that's an area really Gloucester-Hartpury need to match Saracens today, is that physical battle, that gain line battle, because we know Saracens are a direct side, so they'll be pleased with that start.
Well, Gloucester-Hartpury will be mighty pleased with the statement they've just made against the Saracens scrum. Driven them back over their own try line, got themselves a penalty against the head.
Nine marks over here. Number 3, collapse the scrum.
What a scrum. Against the head, 5 metres out, you know. Saracens thinking for sure they're going to clear their lines there, but credit to the Gloucester-Hartpury pack and that Gloucester front row. Elle Perry, Kelsey Jones, Cecilia Tuapolotu.
Okay, Gloucester, legal setup. Sarries,
really dominant there, but that's the work of the full pack.
Perry just going in and having a word with Kelsey Jones before this one comes in. Big jump by Georgia Brock. No Zoe Aldcroft, of course, at the minute. One of a fairly decent list of players out injured. Penalty advantage already coming. Cecilia Tuipolotu's tried to go round on that side, and in effect the carry, they're getting closer to the line. Has the ball managed to find it?
Okay, time off.
Natasha Hunt is just having a look to see if it was down.
Carried in goal and it was off.
Okay.
The ground, then it was ball, then came backwards and the pressure was then put down.
Okay. Pete, we're just going to have a look at that, please.
We are going to employ our TMO.
Okay, Harry, we'll just get
Peter
angles for you. Yep.
We've got the ball on the line, so the on-field decision is try. Just want to make sure how it got there and there was no issue. If not, we're coming back for penalty advantage to Gloucester.
I see it just foot and then pushed upwards.
Okay. Different player to place, or same?
Placed by the same player, took it over the line, but then
Okay.
pressure.
So, there's the conversation with the officials.
Don't forget we've got the initial penalty for 7 white.
Yeah, yes, we're coming back for that.
Pushed back there.
It's hard to see, isn't it, Nick, from this angle, but I think the skipper, Molly Parker, does enough to disrupt that maul and maybe stop Gloucester-Hartpury getting over the line. He's under Kelsey Jones there. Kelsey tries to relay that ball. Oh, is it grounded?
Can you see that, Harry, okay?
Yeah, we're just having a look, mate. Can you
It's
get
an
a picture of
intricate
the
one,
ball?
this, isn't it? Harry Walbaum is wanting to just request other angles.
Is that in this one here, yeah? So, Peter, what we're trying to obtain is if that ball gets put down now.
I think that's dotted down by Alex Matthews there.
So she has one go to place the ball and she puts it down.
Yeah, this is...
Agreed.
Yeah,
Puts it down
agreed.
on it. So
I'm
try's
happy
good.
with that, Harry. Yep,
Yeah.
agreed. Try's good. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Try's good.
Well, there's the angle.
Try scored.
It will be the first try of the game.
Yeah.
Alex Matthews managing to dot it down.
Yeah, I've got to credit Kelsey Jones there. You know, at the back of the driving maul, Molly Packer does a great job to try and come in and disrupt that driving maul, gets under Kelsey Jones, but instead of just fighting to present and score that try, Kelsey pushes it back, allowing Alex Matthews to dot that ball down. And a great try from Gloucester-Hartpury. It's been all them in the first 3 minutes.
Yep, good shout, thank you. Phil, Dixie, just be aware when we get in that position again.
There may be a bit of dispute by the time they get to the sheds to who scored that, whether Kelsey Jones was the one who dotted it down at the back or whether Alex Matthews was the one on hand to do it.
I'm sure they'll both want to claim it. But it's a great team try. All come from set piece, Nick. From the scrum penalty to the driving maul forwards getting through some great work then.
Emma Singh. Oh, just off the near side, upright from her kicking position. Gloucester-Hartpury on the board, though, and a really decent statement made by the home side inside the first 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a huge statement. They come to Kingsholm, they want to put on a show, they're here to play. They're matching so far Saracens with the physicality, and then set piece coming through and clinical in that area.
Beckett just put herself forwards to opt to take that instead of Matthews.
Hold in front.
Fakey George was under a fair amount of pressure from Georgia Evans. Breach did well to take it, just a little bit of a juggle. Got the ooze from the Kingsholm crowd.
Push back. Thank you.
Instead of going to the right, Leanne Infante has given a call to go to the left as Marley Packer gets out the big fend to her little friend in Mo Hunt. The Red Roses teammates, of course, and there are plenty of those dotted all around the park, as well as Welsh as well. 15 capped Red Roses across both squads. 10 across both in terms of Welsh contingent as well. But there'll be no love lost today. Saracens just patient. Chip across from McDougall. Well, it has found Lottie Clapp, but it was lateral more than it was forwards. Teams talk about wanting to play in the wider channels, find the width. Saracens at least managing to achieve that. As Kelsey Clifford takes it forwards. And then Cleal. Poppy Cleal not included in that January training camp. Squad that was named by John Mitchell this week. Effectively Mitchell's first naming of a training squad as they start to look towards that Women's Six Nations at the end of March.
Offside number 3.
Yeah, good patience with Saris going through the phases. Like you said, Nick, get into the wide channels, finding that edge, playing, and then the big ball carriers in the middle, trying to impose their physicality on this Gloucester defence. Good phases, good composure there by the Saracen side. Their first bout of possession, really, this game.
Amelia McDougall.
Okay, Gloucester.
Putting Saracens into the Gloucester-Hartpury 22. Siwan Lillicrap, former Gloucester-Hartpury and Wales international, Wales captain, with us for this tasty top-of-the-table encounter as Rosie Gallagher does the job at the top of the line-out. 14 caps as a Red Rose now, Gallagher.
Okay, that's one.
Had a spell at Harlequins, but then back with the North Londoners. Sarah Beckett's got herself into a position there. Comes down. Now into midfield, Bridger. Former Gloucester-Hartpury girl herself was lifting the trophy last season before she went to North London, but now it's her former side who are back on the ball. But now it's loose, and it'll be penalty time against Saracens.
Yeah, great line out by Saracens, showing their set-piece expertise as well. Good driving maul, good patience, and then big shot on Sophie Bridger in the midfield, and I think it was one of the Gloucester stars, Alex Matthews, has been everywhere in the first 8 minutes of this game, getting over that ball and disrupting that ball, forcing the turnover, and then eventually resulting in a penalty for Gloucester-Hartpury. They'll be pleased with that defensive set. Saracens seem to be pushing, composure, physicality, but well controlled by Gloucester-Hartpury.
They'll have quite enjoyed getting a little shot on one of their former players there, won't they? Bridger with the Saracen shirt on now, but pounced on to give up the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Sophie Bridger just been named in the England squad as well. Outstanding player, and I was actually super impressed with her at Gloucester last year. I think she's a superstar in the making, so Gloucester will be pleased to contain her early and put in that shot, Nick.
Monaghan, Irish international, brings it down. Hunt has just been scragged by Gallagher, and then Clapp getting in for the turnover. Solid from Saracens.
Thank you.
She can hear the whistle quite clearly. When she moans about it when it's up.
Might expect temperatures to simmer along nicely in Kingsholm this
Good
afternoon.
turnover, first player on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Got to credit Lottie Cappier, the co-captain. She identified that Mo might have been isolated, come in off her wing for that turnover. Great body position and a crucial turnover there for Saracens. But credit to Lottie Clack to identify that Mo might have been isolated.
Okay, Gloucester, thank you.
Numbers? 4.
One try on the board. Alex Matthews helping Kelsey Jones
Inside 5, line it over.
get the
Yes,
ball
Maul.
down. It's now there with May Campbell in last round's team of the week. But it may as well be the forward pack at the whole. Marley Packer was another one in that team of the week for the
Okay,
PWR.
advantage.
And
9,
he's
you've
in
got
there helping
advantage.
give it plenty of go forward. Now they've got some room to try and send Gregson on an outside arc.
No advantage, little knock on, we go back. Where's the mark?
Infante,
Okay.
fascinating battle this
Sorry,
afternoon
mate, on right here.
with the two
Number 2's
nines.
lifted players' legs in the maul.
Of course, Infante, late withdrawal for that Rugby World Cup final, played in 22 in New Zealand. She was in the semi-final. Mo Hunt left back at home by Simon
Okay,
Middleton at that
on the
stage,
right.
but, well,
Sorry.
what a period it's been since. Hunt awarded now a Red Roses contract. Infante
Clear
seemingly
access on setup.
outside the inner circle now.
Yeah, it's always a good
Please,
battle on
thank
the
you.
field between the both of them, isn't there? And you know what, Nick? We've got lots of good head-to-head battles here today.
Good, maul.
Down from Galligan. Surrey straight in to
Saracens
engage.
wants across.
Referee warning them it's more lateral than it's going
Okay,
forwards.
Leanne,
They've
start using, please.
been told to use. Infante, Bridger. Dummied the ball out the back. Well wrapped up again. Flaky
Advantage.
George seems to be
Don't just lie there.
man marking, but perhaps George not guilty of rolling away sufficiently. So now there's a penalty advantage as Sarries go the same way. Comes off the boot of McDougall into the hands of
Still
Welsh
advantage,
international
Sarries.
Georgia Evans. Saracens under the penalty advantage. Get a chance to go. Did that go forwards?
No advantage, go back.
We will come back.
Where are we? 20 metres out. No, here, Leanne, here. I think.
Gloucester need to be careful here, Nick. I think
doing my
that's
best.
3
Okay,
penalties
number 10, wrong
potentially
side.
in the red zone over the last 5 minutes. Saracens obviously hungrier to
Okay,
press.
yeah, fine. Stay 10 metres.
Go points. They're going to... No, they're playing.
gonna-
Interesting.
It's going to be tap and go time. They have Cleal away to the right.
Okay, yes, please, Sarries.
Clifford. Well, plenty of communication going on as to where they want to be. They're well spread out here. Infante. Oh, and they're going to switch it back the other way as Packer goes. And then for Gregson. The line at her mercy, but Sam Monaghan doing everything she can defensively to stop them. Sarries get over. Plenty of cherry and white shirts holding them up. And the job is done.
That is outstanding work by Sam Monaghan. What a try-saving tackle. You know, that is straight off the training ground move. That is penalty play. Straight off the training ground. Sidney Gregson was almost over,
turn
but
off the
Sam
side.
Monaghan literally physically handles Sidney Gregson
Front
and pulls her back off that line. Outstanding work.
Monaghan, who was captain last week, was up there making the most tackles against Ealing Trailfinders, but how about this one?
Yeah, it's a great line, wasn't it, by Sidney Gregson? But look at Sam, she knows exactly where she is. You can't go over there, she's saying, and pulls her straight back off. But a great training ground move there by Saracens. Everyone thinks Marley Packer's gonna carry that, but a good line by Sidney Gregson, but great defence by the Gloucester-Hartpury player, Sam Monaghan.
I tell you what, we were all cheering on Jodie Ownsley with the return of Gladiators last week, but I think Sam Monaghan is certainly auditioning for her own opportunity because her ability to wrestle Saracens away there.
She's got an application in, has she, Nick?
I think so.
That's her application just there.
That's the show reel. Now, slight worries here with Karen Lake. Just down, getting some attention.
Yes, worrying scenes, isn't it? Hopefully Karen Lake's okay. Obviously Tatiana Hurd, unfortunate to be injured at the moment and missed out today.
Okay.
Lake's been a great player for Gloucester and is an outstanding player for Wales, so I hope she's okay, because she's a quality player, and she'll definitely be a loss for Gloucester if she isn't all right.
Well, the nature of the late change as well, seeing Pip Hendy go to start after Rachel Lunn withdrew this morning, well, that brings Millie Hyatt onto the bench. They've got Nell Metcalf as well. She's more of a back three player. Hyatt, who may be having to make an early introduction.
Yeah, we've got that. Subs here. Yeah,
Wondering what the call is there for Karen Lake. We'll try and check what's going on. Think it's gone off under an HIA. So, held up was the call from Saracens.
come on.
Referee's just checking with Mo Hunt as to what is happening, and it is going to be Nell Metcalf who is coming onto the field.
Okay.
Yeah, another exciting player for this Gloucester side. Another Welshie, actually. First cap for Wales at the age of 18, out in WXV against New Zealand this year. An exciting prospect for the future, and is an exceptional talent. So, Nell's come on.
Oh, Bridget did really well to take that, given that she might have expected it to be taken in front of her by Infante. And this is a really solid drive from Saracens on the kick return from the goal line dropout. Bridger, who had an opportunity with England. That's the back inside ball that Marley Packer loves so much. Packer to within 5 metres. Infante was looking for the right option. McDougall's offered herself. Cleal. Big collision there, and I think Cleal might have taken one to the face in that collision. Monaghan need to be careful. Infante picks herself a little bit loose as it finds Emma Taylor. Marley Packer looking to tell the referee what's going on. Galligan, accompanied momentarily by Breach. Is the width there? Gregson, so used to scoring from that sort of distance. Not quite able to get there this time, and now it will be the penalty advantage that comes. And I wonder, we are going to just hear Harry Walbaum, I think, with a warning here.
More breakdown, all in this area.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also head here as well. Contact.
I'm not sure. The TMO will be clearing it off. Okay.
Yeah, there's the referee's warning, isn't it, to Gloucester-Hartpury. I think fourth maybe time in the red zone, penalty, and asking Mo Hunt to speak to her team, sort out this ill discipline. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Harry, there's no head contact. It's okay.
Surprised Saracens maybe haven't looked at the option of points.
They're going to tap and go. They were considering the points. You could overhear perhaps Leanne Infante saying that Amelia McDougall wasn't too happy with the position to kick from there. Quite low in front of the posts. So preferred the option to reload and go. And it's going to be testing the Gloucester-Hartpury defence here. The ball that close. Matthews has dived to try and stop it once more. Packer looking for the line.
I don't think you've scored that. Do you think you have? Because I'll check if you're 100%. Marley? I've got no try on field, so we're going back for a penalty. Wait. What was the number?
Another penalty. And it looks like Gloucester-Hartpury are going down to 14. And they certainly don't want to be losing Cecilia Tui-Pelotu, given the defensive effort they're having to put in just now.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we see the first 3 minutes, Gloucester-Hartpury pressing, getting high reward from that. But since that, the last 12 minutes, it's been all Saracens, and down to 14 players now, with Saracens intent, and haven't come away with points yet. But that is so much harder defending with 14 players than it is 15, especially in this zone, Nick.
Thanks, Pete.
Cleal waits over it. The Saracens look for their first. There's going to be no offload to anybody else. Poppy Cleal wanting to take responsibility.
Gloucester-Hartpury
defence effective again. having to do it with 14. They keep it tight once more. Georgia Evans driving into Alex Matthews.
Held up.
They are held up. And listen to the cheer at Kingsholm. Cherry and White's denying Saracens once more.
Yeah, credit to the girls in Cherry and White once again. Maybe they've been doing a lot of goal line defensive work, because that's twice now they've been held up. And you know what, Nick? It's a different tactic when a team gets over the line. You want to stop them from scoring, hold them up, because it's a goal line drop up. And credit to Gloucester-Hartpury. They seem to be really comfortable in their defensive set and tactically know exactly what they're doing there.
Saracens running it back again. Bit between their teeth. They are determined to put these attacking phases to good use. They get another penalty. Home side have to be careful. Heard Alex Osterbury saying before the game that one of the work-ons is the penalty count conceded for Saracens in the first 25. Well, certainly applying the pressure to Gloucester-Hartpury in that area.
Yeah, definitely. It's flipped the other way, isn't it? You see Georgia Brock, great position over the ball, but didn't release from the tackle. You know, it's a key rule. If you tackle her, you've got to show a clear release before going for that ball, and there was no clear release by Georgia Brock.
Ball.
Down from Galligan. Bridges joined. Clappers joined. This one moving forwards with a bit more purpose. Saracens getting over the line and getting the try. It's a whole heap of bodies. Try has been scored. And after all the toil and effort, they finally get the score that rewards them. And it's May Campbell who's dotted it down.
Yeah, good patience there by the Saracen side. You know, their driving maul has been dominant this game. They've gone to it a couple of times. They've made good gain line. You see them here. Look how tight and organised. You've got all 8 forwards in that maul. Everyone in sync, driving towards the line. Great patience in the back by May Campbell. You even see Leanne Infante had her weight to the back of that maul. And May Campbell, the hooker, knows exactly where the line is,
good,
and no
Harry.
doubt she was going to score that try. And well-deserved try by the Saracen side. It's been all them for the last 15 minutes. May Campbell's been having a great year, actually, for Saracens. The PWR Player of the Week last week. She's on top form at the moment.
Well, that one has just gone wide. But, well, a man who will be keeping a close eye on things. He's got a Women's Six Nations campaign to look forward to. And the coaching staff are in. Let's head down to Ashley, who's with John Mitchell.
Thanks, Nick. John, it's great to see you here, and thank you very much for the Harry, though. You've come with the team, and you've come with the snacks. I guess this is a blockbuster game you just couldn't miss.
You know, it's an awesome game to be at. I mean, already, we've had 2 situations where Gloucester started well, and they scored, and then obviously Saracens have had a long time, and Gloucester's 22, so not a lot of rugby played in the middle. Yeah.
We're seeing you at quite a few PWR games. How much have you been enjoying this season?
Yeah, it's a real opportunity to monitor the players. All the coaching staff are at different games. We have responsibilities for different positional groups, and we just meet in the week and have discussions around the players' performances and look to give them feedback.
I should say congratulations, because this week you announced your first ever Red Roses team ahead of the Six Nations, which isn't that far off. How does watching them in action in the league get you excited for what's around the corner?
Oh, there's an enormous amount of talent and a lot of competition. We've deliberately left some people out, and we've deliberately introduced some young players to get an understanding of what we're about. And we want to create healthy competition for places. So coming to games like this and watching all players, and in particular some of the players that are still got an opportunity, because the door's open for everyone.
It's getting a bit feisty out there. Can you call this one?
I'm not sure. Probably a home performance by Gloucester. They seem well up. They've defended their goal line extremely well so far.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for your time, John.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ash.
Thanks, Ashley. Lovely to hear from the Red Roses head coach, John Mitchell. Siobhan Lillicrap, I am intrigued mostly at the phrase he said, as much about the people he selected. He said, we've deliberately left some people out. So that is suggesting to some of those left out that they want to see a reaction to that. And, well, interesting as Ash threw back to us that player was in our frame, Poppy Cleal.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as a coach, sometimes you want to see reactions, you want to maybe change the response of a player, and sometimes, you know, not being selected is a tough lesson to learn, but it makes you look at things differently on and off the field, and it makes you think about what you can do. And even though it hurts at the time, Nick, sometimes you're grateful for that eventually because it helps you.
Bit of zip put on the play by Paige Farris, the Canadian international for Saracens. Although it just goes forwards from Evans. Of course, it was as Gloucester-Hartpury were building up a head of steam down the other end that Saracens got the key turnover, just as we were hearing from John Mitchell. Rueful look on the face of Gallagher.
14, sub please.
Yeah,
14 to bring on the front row.
The territory in possession is back and forth, isn't it?
Okay, Mark's here.
Good tackle by Alex Matthews and pressure by El Perry. Gloucester-Hartpury look really comfortable in their defensive system. They know exactly who's marking who. They're lining them up, making good reads and putting pressure on the Saracen side, forcing turnovers.
So in order to have the requisite front row after Tui Pelotti's yellow card, Gloucester-Hartpury having to make the change. They bring on Laura Delgado, and Kath Richards is the one that has to make way.
Set! Okay, far side down, I'm going to come across.
It's fair to say Harry Walbaum is not short of advisors for any of the decisions he's making this afternoon.
Okay, so feet up.
Yeah, you know what, though, Nick, that's great because you want the officiating team to work as a team of 3 and 4. You know, it's really important. As a referee in the middle, you can't have eyes on absolutely everything. So to have eyes around the field and upstairs in TMO, and when they work together in sync, it you know, it helps you as a player that you know everything's being watched and you can concentrate on your game.
Set!
Big games, big focus from players, officials, and hopefully broadcasters alike.
I'll manage that. Okay. You must wait for the ball before you start pushing. Okay. Don't go soft on them. Appreciate that. I'll manage that. All right. Shoulder square, please.
Apologies
Shoulder
if you're
fully
just
square.
hearing a
Let's
little
go.
bit of the language coming through the referee's microphone.
No, they must be legal here. Okay. They must be legal.
Mo Hunt just having a little look,
Crouch.
making the observations.
Bind.
Expect Infante to be keeping her company as this ball gets to the back of the scrum. It's going to be Alex Matthews, in fact. Infante opts to step away, and Hunt will have a look down the short side and sing, and they will find the ball wider. They made it look so simple. Couldn't quite keep the ball in, but how easy it was for Nell Metcalf, with Hunt able to probe around the short side.
Yeah, really good play there by Gloucester-Hartpury, finding the space on the short side of the scrum. Ball from Alex Matthews to Mo Hunt to Emma Singh, well drawn by Emma Singh.
Thank you.
Nell Metcalf going down the edge there.
Good.
And I know Nell Metcalf has got a boot on her, so maybe, you know, would have liked to seen a little chip in behind there, exploit the space behind the defence.
Felt like that's what was needed, didn't it? Although Saracens did have cover in the backfield, so maybe Metcalf was aware of that on her, just her second
That's one
PWR appearance of the season. Started at fullback last week against Ealing Trailfinders. What a mighty scare the home side had then as Saracens play under a penalty advantage. The little midfield chip from McDougall, that's well fielded by Pip Hendy. It's another penalty.
Entry, yeah?
Gloucester need to be careful here, Nick. I think they're edging towards 10 penalties in the first 24 minutes.
Of course, don't forget, it's a big weekend in the Investec Champions Cup. You can catch every match live all weekend on TNT Sports.
Yep.
And when you're looking for...
Yeah. Sorry, just a sec. Front row off. Yellow card returning. Yeah. Thank you. Change your mind onto the ball. That's not what he said. All right, sorry. Of course, it's tight mode, but we're okay. Back 10, please. In channel.
Campbell. Gallagher was certainly moving around. Tui Pelotu straight back into it. But I think Paul Dix, the near side official, spotting that there was an arm interference on the player going up.
It's always your penalty, so you don't need it. Play the arm in the air.
There we go, there's the call from the referee.
There we go.
Some frustrations on the field, I think.
Why would I do that?
You can see what this game means to these players today, Nick. Every little win, they're celebrating, they want the ball, they both want to play, both sides.
Gloucester on the edge. Look where we are.
I do like the style of refereeing that Harry Walbaum brings. He is calm all the time, isn't prepared to raise the temperature of the conversations, talks in a very human way to the players. Doesn't try and get too authoritative on them.
Okay, one Sarries!
Saracens in another visit to the Gloucester-Hartpury 22. And away they go with Gregson. Got some players coming around to the right as Clapp wants to try and make it work. Double hit was needed, couldn't quite get the offload away to Faris. That would have been the option. Evans. Turned 27 at the end of the month. Georgia Evans in her third season with Saracens. Faris distributes for Cleal. Little bit more room on the outside, but not enough when Sarah Beckett's in town and shows you the side door.
Well done, Sarah Beckett. Yeah, she knew it was a great little play actually from Saracens there down the edge, but Sarah Beckett read it well, tracking across field and a big tackle into touch.
Don't forget, next Sunday, 4th of February, or next, sorry, 2 weeks away, we have Harlequins against Sale Sharks, 2:30 p.m. kickoff, TNT Sports 1 for that one in a couple of weeks.
Okay, that's one.
And then we are halfway through the 2024 Australian Open. Reminder, you can catch up on all of last night's action on demand on Discovery Plus. Live coverage of day 8 starting at midnight on Discovery Plus and Eurosport. And England's Bazball revolution continuing with a 5-test tour of India starting next week in Hyderabad. You can catch every ball exclusively live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. Fired back from Hunt for George. McDougall Fields. Long one over the top, looking for Gregson. It's not going to find her, it instead finds Singh. Manages to get the offload away. Oh, and it was an opportunity to try and get on her bike for Kath Richards. He fancied her chances on the outside, but instead the desperation to keep it alive has meant it's Saracens' ball, and Packer thunders forwards with it into contact, as you'd expect from the England captain.
Okay, leave it, you two.
It's a right arm wrestle and a chess game between these two, probably somewhere between the two. Flaky George. Dummies for Gregson. Oh, it might just be opening up in the middle momentarily for Hendy. Bridger given the slap from Hunt, almost to tell the referee that there's a player in my way, sir. Lewis, then away from Matthews. Super leg drive from Alex Matthews. Hunt into the middle, pops it back. George senses the chance to run through the gap and then find Monaghan. The offload from Monaghan. Not sure if it was by design, but it got there in the end. Singh to the edge of the 22. Ball back inside for Tui Pelotu. Could she be one wearing a red shirt of another colour in 3.5 years' time? Penalty goes the way of the home side. And that is good meterage from Gloucester-Hartpury.
Yeah, outstanding play by the Gloucester-Hartpury side then. They haven't had much possession this last 15-20 minutes. But when they do, and they keep the ball alive, don't they look dangerous? And they seem to be coming into their own then. The offloads and how they were playing, moving the ball into space, comfortable, knew exactly where their players were. That's the Gloucester-Hartpury side we've seen last season, and we've seen to the start of this season as well.
Now this sort of field position, they're opting to kick it into the corner. Former captain of Wales, tight game, 5 points apiece. Would 3 posts have crossed your mind?
Absolutely, it would have. I'm actually blown away by both sides. They haven't taken opportunities at posts so far. You know, the top of the table clash, the win means a lot to both sides. They're both obviously really confident in their attacking abilities.
Welsh hooker, Jones. Brought down by Irish second row Monaghan. Twisting and turning. Thought for all the money it was going to career over the line for a moment there, but it's there for Hunt. Played away as Hannah Jones looked to try and use the footwork and get in. Under the shadow of the post now. Can Gloucester-Hartpury show the sort of execution that Saracens have struggled to show at the other end? They've got themselves a penalty advantage. Oh, that was just a little juggle of the ball. Was it Beth Lewis?
Mark's over here. All clear.
Hunt with the quick tap. Jones going for the line. Stopped just short.
No, not with 8 there.
They've only got Kath Richards over on the right, so they're going to have to turn it back. Another big collision in midfield as May Campbell puts her body on the line defensively for Saracens. Big drive from Perry. Has Gregson held her up?
Held up.
Oh, it's another held up. Well, we talked at the start of the day about the defences of both of these sides. They are the best in the league together, and my goodness, are we seeing that at either end?
Yeah, it's a huge part of the game, isn't it, Nick? You know, if you've got a solid defence, it's really hard for teams to score points against you, and we're seeing both sides hungry in defence, working hard in defence, and really putting pressure on the attacking side, both ends of the ball. So, yeah, Gloucester will be disappointed not to come away with points then.
Drop kick restart, not the prettiest. Oh, but a penalty given away. Georgia Brock was isolated early.
Isolated. And on the right. Marley.
Well, we heard from England head coach John Mitchell. I wonder about one of the men in charge of Saracens. Ashley Wilmot is with Director of Rugby Alex Osterbury.
Thanks, Nick. Alex, we knew it was going to be an arm wrestle today. Obviously, you just clapped that, so you're obviously pleased. What have you made of the opening half an hour?
It's been a little bit error-strewn, hasn't it? The accuracy and the details not being there. I think both teams have done, some real good bits in stopping teams scoring. We had a lot of pressure, a lot of entries there, and didn't come away with really anything. And then just then, obviously, they've just entered the 22, a lot of pressure, and again, not come away with a great deal. So I think we can start to tidy things up, execute a little bit better, and take advantage of the opportunities we're creating. But yeah, it's an arm wrestle, and the momentum swing quite quickly based on errors and turnovers and penalty counts. So hopefully we can build on the back of that interception.
I was going to say, what do you make of that?
Yeah, see what comes of it. There's opportunities, but can we execute? And that's probably what's been lacking, certainly this first 30 minutes. But fair credit to Gloucester's defence, putting a lot of pressure on as well. But we've got to find more ways of being better when it really counts in that 22.
Well, you both have the best defences in the league. Do you feel like what you've been building on this week ahead of this game has translated onto the pitch today?
Some bits. The chop shot stuff has worked for a few turnovers, but I still think that there's some more gears to go through, certainly defensively, and then attacking-wise, as I keep saying, we need to execute better, and that's been a real big focus on coming into this game, because we know we're a very good side.
Thanks for your time. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Ashley. Great to hear from Alex Osterbury. Wants to see more defence, as if we've not seen enough from both sides already. It is absolutely engrossing. Mo Hunt offers a varied game. Kick pass run from scrum half, and McDougall was well found. Marley Packer with the clear out to allow Saracens to maintain possession. That was critical from the Red Roses skipper. Now it's there for Infante, rotating with Virvas for that Saracens 9 shirt. Premier 15's champion with Harlequins in 2021. Claykie George, Singh. Comes forward, partly stopped by Bridger.
Move clear first.
Penalty.
Ball on the floor, number 4.
It's gone against Emma Taylor, Canadian international.
Yeah, both teams bringing a bit of kicking game into it now. We're seeing some boxes, bit of variation in the game, changing it up a little bit. Threats everywhere on the field for both sides, but defences are so good at the moment. Both teams are really good attacking sides, but we're limited in seeing points because the defences have been so brutal and accurate, really.
Monaghan at the tail. Down for Hunt, and then George, and then Beckett with the carry. Sean Lynn saying that she's been a big-time player for them on the TNT games against Exeter and Harlequin. Sarah Beckett, it's just been exceptional. That ball's floated on the outside. Oh, but that time, opting to put the ball on the toe from Metcalf, it was just forced over the whitewash on down the touchline. So Saracens will have the line out.
Yeah, that's unlucky, that is. You know, it's a great ball by Claykie George, the Welsh pairing. Lovely direct pass to the edge to Nell Metcalf. And the right option, really. Saracens' defence was up. Right option to put a little chip in, but unfortunately, straight into touch.
Ball in from May Campbell, not the best. Georgia Brock is there, ready to pounce on the spoils. Beckett just had to check the run as Bridger had flooded up on the outside channel.
Advantage, clear the tackle zone first.
Oh, and there's another penalty. Lewis, accompanied by Kelsey Jones. Loud blast on the whistle.
Thumbs off. Thumbs off. I'm not going to let you go quicker anyway, okay?
No love lost there between England teammates whilst on club duty. Let's listen in.
Penalties down in this area of the field. We've had a couple of those there. Got one there not rolling, and we've got not rolling here as well. I'll give you time. You got one there or one there where we ended up. So. Where we ended up, yeah?
Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens here now. It's a draw,
Okay,
5-all.
message clear. Good, thank you.
Eyeing up the corner again here.
Eyeing up the corner. You know, potentially if they took the last 3 points, it's 8-5. Another 3 points, it's 11-5. But obviously back in their set piece today. That driving maul, back in their forwards to get through some work here.
They know they've got the TV audience today. They know we want tries on TNT Sports in Premiership Women's Rugby and Gloucester-Hartpury. Looking to strike again. Taken that time in the middle by Matthews. Then it's there with Kelsey Jones. It is still moving. There's a splinter that falls. And now, penalty advantage, Mohan. Open palms to the referee appealing, and in fact we're going to see a yellow card, and it'll be for Poppy Cleal.
No, it's yellow. Over here.
Yeah, that was clinical, Nick. You can see her on the back of the maul and pulls the Gloucester players to the ground, disrupts that maul. Gloucester looked like they were going forward and looked comfortable in their setup.
One yellow card apiece then. After we had Tui Piloto off earlier, it's now Cleal for Saracens. Can Gloucester-Hartpury take advantage? This time they call again to Matthews, and they roll around the front. There aren't many numbers there initially for Saracens. Now they drive through and get over the line for the score. Kelsey Jones gets the try. And Gloucester-Hartpury get themselves back in front at Kingsholm.
All clear, Harry, yeah.
Yeah, great work by the Gloucester-Hartpury pack. Patient, Knew they had it in their locker. Here you see execution of the line out. All 8 players in sync, spin around the edge of that Saracens, but a great finish by Kelsey Jones, because this driving maul does splinter, but she knows where the line is and she knows it's broken off, so she doesn't stay attached to Cecilia Tuipulotu there, breaks off, ensuring that score for Gloucester-Hartpury. Really well taken try, Kelsey Jones.
On the full-time contract with Wales, signed last March. Played every test last year and in 2022 as well. Rugby World Cup campaign. And now Emma Singh came into this match with 75% accuracy. Goes through her pre-match routine, pre-kick routine, I should say. Gives it a good belt, but it will fade past the upright. So, 0 from 2 for Singh so far, and just enough time on the clock before it turned red to mean that we will have a Saracens restart.
Number 10. I did try and speak to you before the last kick. On the line or behind it, please. Not 3 metres in front. Thank you.
It's going to be contestable. Gregson's managed to get up there for it.
Knock on.
And the ball went forwards. Referee will blow the half-time whistle. Well, what an engrossing first half we've had here at Kingsholm as the current champions take on the league leaders. They've managed to get themselves in front by 2 tries to 1, but this match very much hanging in the balance. At half-time in Premiership Women's Rugby, it's Gloucester-Hartpury 10, Saracens 5. The plains of Kingsholm, what chance seeing a prowling lion or two out of the assembled internationals we have among the 2 squads today. Of course, news in the week, the first ever British and Irish women's Lions team was announced, confirmed, to tour New Zealand in 2027. You'll be forgiven if your mind starts to wander, as mine did this week, over who might make the touring party in 3.5 years' time. 33 English, Welsh, Scots and Irish cap players among both the Gloucester and Sarries squads. But I think my favourite outlook, Nolly Waterman, saying, I feel sorry for the players that were eyeing up retirement in 2025 that might now be thinking they've got to go for another couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I think we would see that. You know, Nick, normally it's a 4-year cycle, but then it's a 2 more year cycle to the Lions tour, and the first ever one, who wouldn't want to be part of that? So I think we'll be limited on retirements post Rugby World Cup 25.
I hear you've bought a new pair of boots. Back out of retirement. Right, second half underway then.
No.
An engrossing first 40. Part arm wrestle, part chess game, as we were saying. The wind now more at the back of the home side. We heard from Alex Osterbury in that first half. McDougall, oh, it set up nicely for Singh, but penalty advantage was being played.
Yeah, not rolling away. I think the referee signal there. Beth Ann Lewis made the tackle, just not rolling away quick enough. This game has been a penalty fest, lots of penalties. But you know what? I think that comes with how good the defences are as well. So it's frustration sometimes, you know. But Beth Ann tries to roll away there, but blocks Infante's entry into that ruck, slowing the opportunity for fast ball down.
Not the most conventional of kicks from McDougall to the far touchline.
OK, Gloucester, that's your mark.
Beth Lewis, another one of those who's played every Wales test in the last couple of years.
Up you come, Sarries, good.
10 weeks until the start of the Guinness Women's Six Nations. Sarries.
Tackle release!
Haven't made too many mistakes at the line out, but that's certainly one. Brock.
OK, keep moving, thank you.
Kelsey Jones is just staying down for a moment. I think someone probably stood on her foot.
Lost. 3. Always inside.
Mo Hunt. Taken well by Clapp.
Tackle!
El Perry. named in the England training squad. First time she's been mentioned in association with the Red Rose for a couple of years. Chance to impress. Last cap was against France in November Internationals 2020. That match where Emily Scarrett slotted that late penalty and puffed her cheeks. Oh, Sam Monaghan's got in over that one. Textbook turnover from the Irish skipper.
Yeah, outstanding work by Sam Monaghan again. She seems to be amongst everything, but credit to Pip Hendy. When we've seen that tackle, you know, the youngster made a dominant collision on the Saracens player there, which allows then Sam to make that read and get over that ball. So really good play. Sam Monaghan's amongst everything at the moment. Here we see it, the youngster Pip Hendy on May Campbell, and Sam Monaghan on her toes, in and around that. There was only one place she was going, and that's for that ball, and a good turnover by the girl.
Stay with your front, please.
She was captured against Colombia in WXV. Definitely an international tournament that was much needed to put a bit of confidence in the bones of the Irish internationals. We'll get a chance to see how much more competitive they might be at Six Nations time soon. Matthews brings that down. Cries of heave from the shed. The Cherry and Whites continue to tiptoe forwards. That's the first moment of inertia that Harry Walbaum, our referee, says might mean they have to use it. Mo Hunt goes looking for it. Beckett, oh, she'll just take the opportunity to start bowling away through Paige Farris. It was there for Hunt. One look from the scrum half, but the finish is there. It's hat-trick time for Kelsey Jones.
Yeah, it's been an outstanding game by the forward so far, and the Welsh hooker has been behind all of the Gloucester tries. But credit to Sarah Beckett. She lined up, didn't she, the Saracens player, and thought, I'm not going round you, I am going through you. That is what she did. Here we see it, you know, good composure in the ball. Referee shouting, use it. There's Sarah Beckett. She sees exactly what's in front of her, gets over that gain line, and then look at this. Kelsey Jones coming slowly round the back of the ruck, and then picking her line.
Hannah.
Good dominant ball carry, but then watch Kelsey Jones coming round the back there, slowly, in that acceleration into that gap. That's really hard for the Saracens defence to hold up.
Super work from Kelsey Jones. Of course, she was on the score sheet in that Prem final last June. Proving to be so key this afternoon. 3 tries then. Can Singh slot her first conversion of the afternoon. That's a bit more like it from Emma Singh. Gloucester-Hartpury 17, Saracens 5 then, and just the statement the home side would have wanted to make at the start of this second half.
Yeah, definitely. What Sean Lynn and his coaching group said in the change room half-time has obviously worked. They've come out with fire in their bellies. They're raring for this second half. They've got intent about them. They're clinical at set piece, and they're dominating the physical edge of the game as well at points, you know, when we know that's what Saracens bring. And I bet you they had chat this week about matching that. And to be fair to these girls in Cherry and White, they're matching it this afternoon.
Needed someone to claim that, and Sarah Beckett was happy to do so. Hunt for Monaghan. Straight through Campbell there. Hunt and varying it with the little box kick over the top, inviting Lottie Clapp to come, oh sorry, Jess Breach to come forwards, and Breach using the footwork.
Off.
First carry from Jess Breach. We haven't seen too much of her so far in this one, and certainly getting more used to her sit in the 15 shirt. Georgia Evans.
Ripped backwards by Red, play on.
Not given as the knock on.
10.
Harry's trying to counter-ruck through. Clifford came pouring round the corner.
Play on, off the foot, play on. No hands, second player. Not out.
Gallagher coming around, but she's ended up in at the side.
Yeah, both sides hungry, aren't they? Saracens desperate to get the ball back. You know, now Gloucester with that third try, one just before half-time, and that last try takes them 12 points ahead. But at first, I think Rosie Callahan was in the back, but then changed it and came in the side.
Really expertly taken by Paige Farris there. Former Worcester player who was signed in November. A hat-trick of scores against Sale 7.
Wait.
Singh. From the kick from McDougall. Gallagher with the tackle. Hunt. Perry. Monaghan. Sensing a chance to just get on the outside arc and attack Amelia McDougall. Tui Pelotu. Yellow card in the first half. Back on carrying duties. Quick pass from Clykey George. It came off the boot, says the referee, so Singh comes back in field, gets initially around Sophie Bridger, and it's there for Brock. Disjointed at times from Gloucester-Hartpury, but they are still maintaining possession. And that time it has gone forward, so can Gregson make anything of it?
Oh, no hands. Off feet. So advantage
Bouncing
over 9.
infield, Clifford. McDougall sending it downfield. That's an intelligent kick from Amelia McDougall. Clykey George had a little juggle with it, now looks up the touchline herself and has dealt with that pretty well, given she was staring down the barrel of conceding a 50-22 kick.
Okay, number 4.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't catch who was the Saracen player that made that kick, but it was a great identification of space. 50-22 on, and Clykey George doing a really good job of keeping that in. And to be fair, the clearance kick with not much of an angle, Nick, she gathered the ball and had to turn, was a very good clearance kick considering.
So Grace Moore is a player onto the field for Saracens. Saracens, of course, who also conceded a yellow card. Poppy Cleal leaving the field at the end of the first half. It's a big Investec Champions Cup weekend. Round 4, every match live on TNT Sports. Make sure to keep up with everything that's going on. And then our next big Allianz Premiership Women's Rugby match, Sunday the 4th of Feb, 2:30 p.m, TNT Sports 1. We will be at the Stoop as Quins take on Sale Sharks. Fascinating encounter that, as Harlequins have quite with themselves this season. Australian Open halfway through so far. Reminder, you can catch up on all of last night's action on demand on Discovery Plus. Live coverage starts at midnight, Discovery Plus and Eurosport, and then India against England. All 5 tests from the end of January through till March on TNT Sports. Gloucester-Hartpury coming forwards again. 3 tries to the good. Now another penalty advantage. It'll be a busy old afternoon for our referee, Harry Walbaum. Hunt.
No advantage. You've got to move before number 2 comes
just trying to play it away. Referee says no advantage, so
on the edge.
This will be Clykey George.
6, move clear before 2.
Tactical kicking. Clykey George up there with the best, if not the best, you have to say, across Premiership Women's Rugby. Player of the match against Exeter in round 5.
Okay, Sarries, just wait.
McDougall fielded it well and sends it back to her opposite number, who will play it on for Singh. Singh loves a counter-attack run, just found a bit of room. Gallagher slowed her down, then into contact she goes, but the ball's been knocked on. Now Campbell, Gallagher. How many Rosie Gallaghers are there? Defending, attacking, she's everywhere. Infante. There for Clifford. Kelsey Clifford, one of those who may be eyeing up more caps with, of course, the sad news of Sarah Burns' injury. Be looking over her shoulder at Lizzie Hanlon, who's also been named in that Red Roses January training camp squad. This is Bridger, former Gloucester-Hartpury, of course. Moore opts to leave it for Cleal. Infante going left. Breach popping up at first, receiver. It's often a sign of where Sarries need to be when you start seeing Breach popping up in those positions and linking play.
Back foot, no.
Haven't found their rhythm, haven't been allowed to find their rhythm by Gloucester-Hartpury. Not a lot of room on that far side. Have kept it infield. Infante. Cleal. That was untidy.
Advantage, knock on, back foot wide.
Hannah Jones is going to step in and play scrum half. Feeds it back to to George.
No advantage, always under pressure. First one from White.
You hear the referee. We'll have the scrum from the knock-on.
Subs, please. Sarries 2 and 3, sub.
Over a year since Saracens have lost in the league, they always come away with victory when they come to play Gloucester-Hartpury away from home.
Okay, scrum, red ball. Mark's here.
Scoreboard is going to take some work over the course of the next 28 minutes if they are to turn this result around.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a confident Gloucester-Hartpury side today. I've just been so impressed, Nick, with both teams' defensive efforts.
Please be patient.
The intent in the collisions, the confidence, the defensive reads. It's made it really hard for both teams to unleash their attacks fully. And, you know, it looked like then Saracens were trying to settle back into the game, go through the phases of attack. But to credit to Gloucester's defence, they contained them. They didn't get out to that mid-zone in the field. And then a knock-on results in a Gloucester-Hartpury ball.
It is Gloucester-Hartpury ball. Let's find out what
Crouch.
their head coach is making of it all. Sean Linz with Ashley Wilmot.
Bind.
Sean, you've got quite the smile on your face. You were up at half-time, 10-5. It's now 17-5. You come out firing. What have you made of this game?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's going to be a game of 80 minutes. The pleasing thing for us was going in at half-time with a score and then coming out at half-time and we've just got a score. You know, we've got to settle a little bit there. We've missed touch twice, you know, but Claykey will settle the nerves here and hopefully she'll find touch and we'll build that momentum again.
We've seen Saracens come back twice as hard in the second half so many times this season and in the past. What were your messages at half-time to try and close them down again?
Yeah, everything was going well. I think that first 20 minutes just showed our resilience. We probably had the ball for about 8 minutes there and we come away 10-5 up, and the resilience we showed there on the try line with the sim bin just showed the character of what the squad is about.
Speaking of character, Kelsey Jones, has she impressed you today?
Oh yeah, she has, you know, and she'll give everything. She's been outstanding. Her throwing in has been quality, but everything around the park as well. She's a good one.
Sean, are the conditions making it hard for the kicking today as well?
Yeah, it is very windy out there. The wind's swirling quite a bit, so it is very difficult.
I
don't want to get your hopes up too much. Have you thought about the potential of beating Saracens for the first time here at Kingsholm?
No, not at all. You know, it's only 53 minutes going to the game, 17-5. This Saracen side is a very strong side and they can just keep coming back at us.
Thanks for your time, Sean.
Thank you.
Admire the effort, Ashley.
I know, but they done it to us all.
On the 10, mate. Line's yours.
Sean Lynn not being drawn to consider victory at any point yet. There is plenty left in this. And Amelia McDougall starting her 6th Premiership Women's Rugby match. Zoe Harrison continuing her rehab. We have seen Harrison this season, but between club and country, they're very keen to manage the return from her ACL injury. Well, you don't see that very often. Saracens losing possession once more. Gloucester-Hartpury defensively doing the business, and the Shed love it.
Yeah, the Shed over there, Nick, will be getting behind this Gloucester-Hartpury side, and credit there. Great line-out defence, maul defence by the Cherry and White, disrupting Sarries' ball and like you say, Saracens won't like that. They won't be used to teams doing that to them often. But I think there's a reason why both these sides are 1 and 2 in the league at the moment. There's a reason why we've got a great game on our hands, because there's so many elements of their game that is outstanding, and you see some great individual players in both sides.
Matthews, a little bit behind Flaky George. He did so well to take it. Hendy trying to get on the outside, manages to get the ball away. Metcalf, done well, all things considered. Lewis, George, oh, there the intercept. It was beautifully picked out. McKinley Hunt striding through the 22.
Offside.
Places it back for Gregson. Packer, Bridger, Farris didn't back herself to go right round the outside. Stepped back in. Bridger still waits on the far corner. Big upright collision there. Kelsey Jones into Breach. Cleal looks to try and rampage her way forwards. There is that penalty advantage because of the high collision on Breach.
Ella, you have.
Intercept becoming penalty advantage, becoming Saracens knocking at the door. They go over the line. Grace Moore not able to get it down. Or at least that's how it looks on first watch.
Okay. Time's off. I've got that held up in goal. Okay.
So conversation there between the two on-field officials. Held up and then a possible head collision.
We've got a high tackle from Gloucester.
Yeah, we're just getting the angles, Harry.
Just have a look at it.
Well, Kelsey Jones has scored a hat-trick today.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Go on then.
We've certainly seen the good.
Just coming, Harry. Yep.
Right, I've got the screen.
She might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Breach with the carry.
Dixie.
It's definitely upright. Definitely head on head, I think.
We just play this through in full speed for you, Harry. Yep.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Okay.
So Breach
Okay,
ducks a little into it. You wonder whether that's where they might find some mitigation.
It's a slight potential
Coming full
change
speed.
of angle,
Yeah.
coming off her right foot,
You can just
stepping back in.
Thank you. We'll just freeze it on point of contact, just so we can confirm there is head contact there. And we'll come back. Just point of contact then, please.
I think they are just trying to see where the point of contact is.
Okay, do you agree with that? Do you agree,
Harry, we'll just get point of contact for you.
Do you agree with that? Yeah.
Well, we are having a very good look at this.
You freeze it on there.
There was an initial discussion, I think, from the assistant referee to suggest there might be a dip in height, but I think the debate is going on that actually
Okay.
tackler has remained relatively upright. There is a bend at the hips from Kelsey Jones. Let's
Yeah, and head on head.
see what Harry Walbaum makes of it.
Same.
I can tell you this one is being debated quite hotly
Do you want any other angles, Harry?
by the assistants
No, I think we're happy.
and
So
our referee.
we have got head-on-head contact, okay, and we do have foul play because 2 red could be lower in the tackle. We see 2 red go forward into the tackle, and there is force there. So unfortunately, it's a red card for 2 red. There's no mitigation there. There's no significant drop from number 15 white, so it's going to be a red card to number 2.
Well,
You
there we
happy with
go.
those facts?
Decision
Are you
made
happy with that?
by Harry
2.
Walbaum. And Kelsey Jones is gone. Hat-trick hero will now see her team have to see out the match with 14 players.
Whoa.
Shivan Lillicrap, your view on it?
On the line.
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? You can see the disappointment in Kelsey's face there. I don't think any player ever intends to go head-on-head, but it is a head-on-head collision, Nick. It is upright. So the referee, by the letter of the law, you know, I think they spent a lot of time looking at the options, exploring the angles, looking at body angles, and you've got to agree with the referee's decision. At the end of the day, you know, we speak about player welfare, and if there is a high tackle and a head collision, they've got to operate in the right way. And yeah, tough one for Kelsey Jones. She's been on fire for Gloucester, but these things happen, and it's unlucky.
Well, it's a big momentum swing back the way of Saracens as they look to try and get this maul towards the line. And they are over the line, and the try is scored. Bryony Fields gets the ball down. 13 tries last season for Field, but she's on the scoreboard today. And how critical could that one be? Gloucester down to 14 for the rest of the match. Saracens get their second score.
Yeah, important moment for Saracens. Again, they're going to their driving maul again. Clinical in this area, dominant in this area, both sides, Gloucester and Saracens, and you see the patience here and Field knowing exactly where that try line is and takes their opportunity. Tough time now for this Gloucester-Hartpury side, down to 14 players, but I've seen this work both ways. It could galvanise Saracens, it could create opportunities for attack, hard for Gloucester-Hartpury, but I've also seen teams who've received a red go to the next level because you're making up for that player that's gone off. So, you know, it's still a long time to play, and it'd be interesting to see how both sides react to that red card.
McDougall never quite had the radar right, stuttered into the conversion. 7-point game. Gloucester-Hartpury, who coming into this one had 31 tries on the board, scored over the 6 games that they played. Saracens, who had 55 on the board in the 7 they played, far higher scoring rate. They conceded less as well. But who cares about all of that? We've got 21 minutes, 7 points between the sides. And as former Wales captain and former Gloucester-Hartpury player Sian Lillicrap says, it is going to be now about how each team reacts to that red card. Super take from the Canadian Faris. Ella Vivas looking to find her rhythm after that early introduction where the knock-on occurred. Down the channel again for Singh. Has George on the inside. Singh fancies a little nudge of this downfield. Vivas came thundering across, and she sliced the clearance. I think Singh was looking for a possible 50-22 herself, but well, they've got themselves a line out just outside the 22. The net result will satisfy them nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great take, wasn't it? Tracking across that 22 there. Potentially a mark, maybe could have been called, but coming across, rushed the kick. Didn't get much gain line.
Oh, it's a beautiful bit of work from Gloucester-Hartpury. Lewis was the dummy jump. Was that a touch high? Advantage now being played. Hunt plays it for Monaghan. Monaghan for Tui Polotu. Gloucester-Hartpury looking to respond, having just conceded.
Got advantage. No, then player.
They have the advantage. Oh, it's out the back. Knocked backwards from George.
No advantage.
High tackle from Faris, giving away the penalty.
Agreed, yeah.
What a break from the front of that line out, though.
Yeah, it was a great move, wasn't it? Another one straight off the training field. Obviously analysed Saracens' line out this week. Seen an opportunity there.
Okay,
I think Beth Lewis was shocked of how much space was in front of her. Exploited the space, got deep into the 22 of Saris.
Okay, stay on the goal line.
World Cup winner in 2014, Natasha Hunt wants the quick tap here. That's going to be the option. Tui Polotu with the take. Hunt has to dance around the bodies to get there. It's not the quickest ball. In fact, they're going to get the penalty advantage. And it's Matthews driving to within a metre. Georgia Evans on the wrong side. Beckett won't get the carry. It's loose again from the cherry and whites.
Do you want to go quick?
Hunt tying it up again. She's asking questions of the referee as Saracens give away penalties in this area. She's a wise old head, is Mo Hunt. Back in the England setup. Winning that third contract as a scrum half with the Red Roses. Showing a cool head as Beckett carries to 2 metres. Tuipulotu. Saracens a player up as Packer tries to get down over it. Not allowed to play it. Another bust through the middle, but the Saracens defence just holding
Tacklers
up.
Off.
Enough.
Back fight!
Hunt almost being swallowed into that breakdown. Really low one for Tuipulotu to take. Oh, she's been held up. Have you ever seen more tries held up in your life in one game?
Unreal effort, isn't it, Nick? How many tries is that held up this game? But well done, Poppy Cleal. And more. Knew there was only one direction Cecilia was going. Here we see the line-out play. Beth Lewis getting deep into Saracens 22. Good carry from Tuipulotu. And again, that's where we see then she put herself up to carry a lot. Saracens are aware of that. I feel like they're man-marking her a bit. There's only one direction. Cecilia's going. And then well held up by the Saracen forwards.
Well, what price putting your body on the line in front of Cecilia Tuipulotu? Poppy Cleal is not one to stay down, and she is just getting a bit of attention. Grace Moore was in there as well. Tuipulotu. I was running through those names, having had that Lions news this week. She'll be 24 come the Lions. Got to be a shoo-in.
When you say it like that, you're like, oh my. How will she only be 24 in 2017? I feel like she's been playing for years, but you know, she is young. I believe she still qualifies for Wales under 20s with her age. And how many international caps has she had? She's transitioned to front row last year and is dominating, improving at scrum time continuously. But then what she brings around the park is pretty exceptional.
Yeah, she was in the second row in this fixture last season. And now Tuipulotu with those 15 Wales caps to her name in the front row, but held up that time. Gloucester-Hartpury come again. Marley Packer asking the question as to who was offside. Harry Warbaum able to reply and say it was you. Hunt, miss pass for Tuipulotu, who puts it into the hands, and Singh gets around on the outside. Emma Singh into the 22. Singh to score the try. Oh, what a score!
What a finish by Emma Singh. Fair play. She identified. I didn't see who exactly it was, but the Saracens player in front of you and exploited that space, but still had a lot of work to do. So we see a great out the ball here by Tuipulotu, sees the mismatch. I believe it was Osterbury for Saracens, looks for the fend, and then beats the last defender. Here she goes, beats Bridger, ex-teammate, with her feet. Well identified by Emma Singh, and well taken try.
Well, no sooner do we finish a conversation about the abilities of Tuipulotu and her carrying and how destructive she is, she then shows us the passing offload game, which sent Singh through the gap. And that's how you can be a double or a triple threat.
Absolutely, you've just nailed it there, Nick. You know, we've seen her 3-4 times on the bounce, carrying in that red zone, getting over the gain line for Gloucester-Hartpury. And then I'm sure Gloucester were expecting another carry for her, and then she pulls it out the back to George, and that's triple threat. And then the identification of who's in front and the dog leg slightly in defence, being able to exploit that is very skillful.
Singh adds the conversion, and it's a really crucial one. pulls Gloucester-Hartpury out to a 14-point advantage.
Yeah, agreed.
They get the bonus point. And look at that, Tui Pilotis straight back for Singh, backing herself. Is that the game?
That's a key try, Nick. You know, there's 15 minutes left of this game. Gloucester are down to 14 players. It takes them, you know, over 2 tries ahead, well, 2 tries ahead, which is a significant score.
Okay, 9 available. And use it!
Hunt. Vivas just lost her footing, actually had a bit of empty turf in front of her. She'd have been able to stay on her feet. Hannah Jones just looking to slow things down.
Not out. Not out. Good work.
Packer will deputise at scrum half. Alex Matthews putting in the defensive hits. Evans. Back from Vivas. Always going backwards in possession of the ball. And it's Beth Blacklock who, under pressure, has stuck it out on the full. The replacement.
Not now.
Made a Saracens debut in round 5 against the Tigers, having signed from Harlequins.
Yeah. Okay.
Composure is really key at this point in the game, Nick. 15 minutes left, 14 minutes left. Both teams are in this game. It's about composure, territory, possession. And, you know, there's no urgency for Saracens to score straight away on the bounce of that. There's plenty of time for them to get back into this game. So Gloucester will be pleased with that area. You know, they've got a line out now, roughly halfway, and they have ball, which relieves pressure from the Gloucester-Hartpury girls.
Well, Kath Richards makes way. Just looked a little gingerly on her feet. Certainly hope that there's not injury coming back to Kath Richards' door. She had 2 hand fractures that stunted opportunities when she was in the Wales Six Nations squad last year. Had a Great Britain Sevens opportunity last summer that didn't quite come to fruition. She's been really impressing for the Lightning in the 2nd year of playing the Celtic Challenge. She's a Wales touch international as well, so obviously I had to remark on Kath Richards as a fellow touch player.
Doc, you happy?
Comes off after her 2nd start, but that's Georgia Evans who's been receiving some attention. Be hoping to resume her try-scoring exploits for Wales, having knocked one up against France in last year's Women's Six Nations. They are just still applying a little bit of pressure just to see what Georgia Evans is able to do with the strapping that's there. Also named this week was
Saracens just on me.
England under-18s squad for the Six Nations Festival by James Cooper. Gloucester-Hartpury players like Daisy Aspinall, Rebecca Jackson, Freya McGinley, Abigail Pritchard, Lucy Simpson, Ellie Wilson. Saracens had Grace Strickland, Isabel van der Straat. Names for the future, no doubt. Nell Metcalf, just 19, and Millie High at 18 on the bench for Gloucester-Hartpury. And this is the home side. Bonus point try secured, 14-point advantage. They have never beaten Saracens when the North Londoners have come to visit. Extraordinary record. Lewis. There for Hunt. Monaghan under all sorts of pressure. Sarah's defence having to work hard. Is it just going to open up a little bit for Hendy? Tui Pilotu. Monaghan. George linking nicely, and then Lewis. That was just a little flung forwards.
It's great interlink in play now by this Gloucester side. Feel like they're playing with confidence. We've seen a tip then from Cecilia to Pilotu. See Sam Monaghan pulling it out the back. Beth Lewis in the wide channel, trying to draw and give space on the edge there for Nell Metcalf. Maybe just holds on to that ball a second too long, putting pressure on, making that pass within the tackle or almost on the tackle is a hard skill set.
Yeah, done everything right up until that point in terms of squaring up the defender, hadn't she? But it was just the execution. Probably a week too early for Maud Muir from a Gloucester-Hartpury perspective. Tatiana Hurd, another one of those who isn't too far away, we understand. Clapp. Oh, managed to just get around. Escape the clutches of Metcalf. Oh, and a big sit down from Welsh hooker Donna Rose. Off the bench for Sarries. That's really nice from Virvas to find Farries. Gregson. Oh, it's loose that time. They are not being allowed to find their rhythm by this Gloucester-Hartpury defence.
No, they go through a couple of good phases. We've seen them moving the ball, offloading the ball, playing that exciting brand of rugby then. Saracens' physicality as well. And then an error happens and they're just giving possession back to Gloucester-Hartpury.
Gloucester bring off Beth Lewis. Kate Williams coming onto the field, and you can see Scottish international Lou McMillan has just taken her place as we see the Gloucester-Hartpury defence doing its thing, putting the pressure on, and Poppy Cleo with the knock-on. .65 caps for the Red Roses, Cleo. Was on the bench in that Rugby World Cup final.
Bind.
Started last year's Women's Six Nations campaign. In from Hunt, gets it back from Matthews, fired away for Singh. Singh against Farris. Canadian stays in the fight.
Move! Barnage 14.
But Farris is going to be penalised for not managing to get herself out of the tackle situation. There is so much going on in a breakdown like that. Who's holding who? Harry Walbaum decides that one goes to the home side.
Yeah, clever play there by the skipper, Mo Hunt. She knew, listening to Harry, knew she had the advantage, knows they're down to 14 players, and just said to the referee, we'll take that. You know, it's really hard with 14 players playing in that mid area of the field. You see a good carry by Emma Singh. Farris not rolling away. And then Mo Hunt just saying, we'll have the penalty. Thank you. We'll play in the right areas, especially with only 14 girls on the field.
Front jumper, Brock. And away for Hunt. Poppy Cleal in a good position to get onto the ball, and will earn Saracens the penalty. That was clean as you like.
Yeah, great read by Poppy there. Sarah Beckett isolated, gets over the ball, wins that race to the breakdown.
Line.
Bit of a slice from Blacklock. Didn't quite get the metres up the touchline she might have wanted there, but it's Bryony Field, try scorer in this second half. Akina Gondwe there as well. Made her club debut against Gloucester-Hartpury in the cup. But that could be coming back on the cherry and white side, and when it's going your way, it's going your way, as Brock gets it on the outside from Tui Palotu.
No. Good.
Hunt for George, back for Singh. Singh, little hitch kick. Was well tracked down by Irish international Grace Moore. Brock, that was decent from the back rower. Neve Jones is onto the field as well. This is Hendy getting up to the 22. And here is Jones. Gallagher clinging on to the Irish hooker. She will play Back row as well.
She's leaning on the ruck, she can't play the 9.
Poppy Cleal needs to be careful of cynical moments like that.
Next one in this area goes. Speak to them, please.
She's had a yellow already.
She needs to be extra careful if that's the case, Nick. You know, the referee's clear with his instructions, to be fair to him. Letter of the law, you've got to play by the letter of the law, and she's had 1 yellow. She needs to be squeaky clean now, because I'm sure she doesn't want to have a second, which converts to a red.
Well, Saracens conceded 13 penalties against Exeter last week. They're already up to that number now, with 7.5 minutes remaining of this match. And Harry Walbaum has warned them.
Okay, sorry.
Time is ticking away.
Thank you.
For the league leaders. They got maximum points from their previous visits. They still need a couple of tries to be able to get a try bonus on the road at Kingsholm, but it's Gloucester-Hartpury who are the ones in possession and threatening the Saracens try line.
Use it now!
Given the call to use. Hunt's going in looking for it. Away for Beckett, who's quietly got on with plenty of decent stuff this afternoon. Matthews one option, Monaghan another.
Tackle, everyone release!
Farris in there.
No hands!
Tui Pilotu queuing up, as are the likes of Buggy and Delgado. Little pull back inside. Gloucester-Hartpury trying to do whatever they can to wriggle their way to the line. Tui Pilotu, can she get there? Longer one from Hunt. They had a bit more width there if they could have got it out, but the Saracens' drift defence worked brilliantly, and it's driven Gloucester-Hartpury back here. Monaghan again, chance to reload. Donna Rose a little over the top. Tui Pilotu. Oh, now she's just bowling people out of the way. Virvas, the latest victim. Oh, but Marley Packer has got straight in there and done a super co-captain's job. Brilliant responsibility taken.
Thank you, back foot.
Gondway, who joined from Worcester. And it's Donna Rose. Clearance downfield is an absolutely brilliant one.
Right on the edge. Number 3.
Donna Rose, 18 caps for Wales, last against Australia in November. She's spoken bravely about her mental health diagnosis, BPD, borderline personality disorder, believed up to 60,000 people in Wales may suffer from. It is so good when people of Donna Rose's sort of stature and presence can talk about these things publicly, so valuable to people in and around communities.
Say it again, HIA. Okay, HIA for number 18. Number 3 back on.
And she is just going to get a head injury assessment, so...
Happy Phil. Time on!
5 minutes remain of the match. Neve Jones. Clocked up the second most tackles against Ealing Trailfinders.
Back foot too, back foot.
Ball under the arm again. Mo Hunt beckons the orders, saying keep on, keep on. It's broken up a little.
There once, Gloucester!
Where's the ball? Don't want to lose it. Gallagher looked to try and come through. Hunt did just enough to be able to get it away around her as Beckett makes the carry. Flaky George sticks that one up in the air. Wants to ask a question of Blacklock. Monaghan putting the shoulder in. Virvas. Oh, and it's just been lost forwards, but Gloucester-Hartpury straying offside.
Yeah, discipline there. Catherine Buggy, she did roll away, but she rolled back into the area in which Saracens are trying to attack for, disrupted the nine's delivery. But Saracens hungry now. They know they need to score soon to be in with a shot in this game.
Driving down the touchline. Bryony Fields.
Legal through the middle.
Over 50 appearances for Loughborough Lightning.
White to floor.
Oh, but that's not come back on the Saracens side. And Gloucester-Hartpury will get the turnover. The seconds tick by as a quite historic result gets ever closer. It's been a real team effort, Siwan Lillicrap, from the home side, but who stood out for you?
There's been many players that have stood out today. For Saracens, obviously Marley Packer, Rosie Gallagher has been outstanding. But the player of the match for today, Gloucester-Hartpury, Sam Monahan, the way she's operated the line out, the way she's imposed the physicality, the way she can offload and play that ball, her multi-dimensional game has really stood out. But her physicality, and she ran the line out for Gloucester-Hartpury exceptionally well today, which ultimately their scoreline has been determined by their driving maul. So credit to Sam Monahan, well-deserved player of the match.
Takes her leave after a decent day at the office, as does Mo Hunt as well, and Hannah Jones. Changes made then. Katie Mattinson, Scotland international. Steph Else has come onto the field. George
15's on.
Looks to just belt that down the middle. Farris. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, Jess Breach can barely make eye contact with Paige Farris after that.
Yeah, it's a series of mistakes now, isn't it? You feel the desperate need from the Saracen side. They know the time is ticking. They know there's only a few minutes left. And when that pressure's added, errors happen. And you've seen then the knock-on. The pass wasn't the best from the Saracens. And then knock-on. Gloucester-Hartpury will be happy to be back into Saracens 22. 14 players down, remember, for the last 25 minutes. So there's only one place this Gloucester-Hartpury want to play their game.
Come back for Claky George. She won't mind just sending Saracens back towards their try line.
Red on the line, we're inside.
Kick from inside the Saracens half, so no 50-22, but Saracens at this stage, you think, will be thinking about that bus ride home.
Yeah, it's only one way this game's going to go now, Nick. Just over a minute left.
Well,
Gallagher brings it down. Saracens get the drive on. 60 seconds remain at Kingsholm.
From the back, good. That's once white.
Gloucester-Hartpury put the shoulders to the wheel again to try and negate them as Virvas plays. Bridger at first receiver. It's another little loose one. Nearly worked out. Virvas again. Bridger. Oh, Bridger gets nicely on the outside and cutting back in field. Singh, former teammate, puts in the tackle. Slowed her down at least. Virvas then. Blacklock. Saracens continue to play as you would expect. Exactly the sort of culture and effort that Alex Osterbury instills in his side. Gallagher twisting and turning as the clock approaches the full 80. Breach for Gondway. Gloucester having to defend, but the shed and the voices getting up as they sense this famous win about to be confirmed. Virvas will play to the left of Saracens. Got one more play to make in this. It's going to be the run for Corinne Grant as she eyes up the corner. Oh, it's a lovely finish from the Scottish international. Continuing to play right to the last. Full respect to Saracens. but it will just be a third try. They won't take a whole lot from this game, but Corinne Grant will take a fine finish for Saracens' third.
Yeah, that's a great finish for Grant. You've seen Breach here with a missed pass in the wide channel, seen there was space, but the finish that Grant takes, you know, that acceleration, got on the outside of Nell Metcalf. Millie Hyatt tries to stop her, but she's got the power to get over the line. And a great try by Grant. And I'm sure Saracens will be happier with that finish. And potentially a significant try. You know, potentially pick up a point from this game, which in this league, the way it's going, could be really significant when it comes to that top four.
Sorry, you can't, but someone else can.
Well, it's going to rely on this conversion, which is certainly not easy at all. But they could take a losing bonus if they can convert this. Blacklock, she's drilled it. Not to be. Well, Saracens have come up short. It's an afternoon that's all about the cherry and whites, all about the circus. For Gloucester-Hartpury, this makes quite the statement. Saracens have been the bogey team down here since, well, forever. So they will cherish this. It draws them level on season wins and keeps them unbeaten. But it is the first time they've beaten Saracens at home. And what a time to do it in terms of the season. A brilliant team performance, Joanne Linnecrop.
Yeah, an outstanding team performance, and ultimately defence won them that game. That defensive effort, first half, was exceptional. A coach once told me defence will win you the game, attack by how much, and I think that was true today. Great effort by both sides. We had an outstanding PWR match on our hands, top of the table clash, and it didn't disappoint. But Gloucester-Hartpury, clinical when they needed to be at set piece, driving maul, and took their opportunities and galvanised, come together during that red card and got the win.
Yeah, hat-trick for Kelsey Jones then, and finished by Emma Singh. It finishes Gloucester-Hartpury 24, Saracens 15.